HighReturn.com. When there's work to be done around or in your home, when there's money to be spent, you don't want to go wrong. We're people you can trust. Oh, get advice from us. What you don't know can hurt you. HighReturn.com.
That's right, folks. It's the weekend. My name's Adam Helfman. This is Hire It Done on 97.1 The Ticket. Having a great time, that's for sure. Anyways, what's going on around your house, folks? Tuning in for the first time? This show's a home improvement show. It's a type of show that teaches you, the homeowner, how to fix, repair, or remodel everything within the four corners of your lot. But I'm not a do-it-yourselfer. However, I'm not anti-do-it-yourself. I'm just pro-do-it-for-me. That's all. You see, from the neck down, I'm worth minimum wage. From the chin up, I make my living. And I want to share with you my experience, my knowledge. Everything that Hire It Done is here for is to help you, the homeowner, get a hassle-free home improvement. And I got a great show lined up for you today. In fact, we have a co-host with me today. Sitting across from me is Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical. Good morning.
Good morning, Adam. How are you today?
I'm awesome, man. How you been?
Good. Busy.
Right?
Busy. Cold morning.
Plumbing business is on fire.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was cold. I had to put on a hoodie.
Yeah, I see.
I got my pink.
Looking good.
Pretty in pink today.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to know that I am...
You're pretty in every color.
Thank you. I'm comfortable in my manhood. In my man hoodie, which is all good. So real quickly, today's show is brought to you by Bill and Rod's Appliances and Mattresses. They're having a huge sale on barbecues for from now until Father's Day. You should check it out. Pretty good stuff. Are you a barbecue guy?
I love to barbecue.
Right? Well, Bill and Rod's has the best barbecue stuff, and it's on sale.
Oh, awesome.
Which
Looking
is
for a
always
new
cool.
one.
Yeah, so go to the Bill and Rod's in Livonia. Tell them you heard on Hire It Done. They really legitimately have a really cool discount. Also, today's sponsor is Bulliard Lumber. Free fasteners when you buy a TimberTech deck package through Bulliard and Hire It Done. We have a really cool video we just produced on Hire It Done on getting the right deck, whether you're going to do composite or treated wood. It's pretty cool. So I thought that was pretty nice. And, of course, All Brick Design, one of our sponsors. You want brick pavers done? Go to All Brick Design. Get 20% off your brick paving project with All Brick Design. HireItDone.com has the video special, which is kind of cool. And, we just have a great home improvement. How's the season for you so far, Ron?
Swamped, in one word, I guess.
What's holding you back? What's the one thing that's holding you back this year?
Lack of people. Hiring guys. I can't find them. Can't find them no matter what. I mean, we're advertising here on the radio, and we're trying everything. It's just not available. I mean, I'm training guys, but it takes, at least a year. I don't like to turn them loose until they really know what they're doing. So
no, I don't blame you. But that's the thing. So tell everyone about Shelby Mechanical.
We're a plumbing contractor. We do a little bit of everything. We do build-outs. We do commercial, residential, industrial, a lot of service, a lot of sewer repairs. Pretty much anything to do with plumbing we'll handle.
In this weather, okay, what's the number one call you're getting right now? Plugged toilet, sewer lines backing up?
Well, the weather, I mean, when we get rain, it's always a sewer backup, especially these houses that are on a combination system where the rain, the sewer and the storm systems are combined. When we have the heavy rains, they have issues. But normally, and we've had kind of a dry summer. It hasn't been that bad. We've had rain lately.
Yeah,
but it's not.
We had no
bad.
spring. I mean,
yeah,
it's still
right
spring, but right to summer, right?
Yeah, it did go right to summer.
Although it's a little nippy out today, I'm thinking.
Feels good.
Man dies while cleaning a sewer drain in Mid-Michigan church. Did you read that article?
No.
So
Was that
in
recently?
Mount Haley Township, yeah, it was last week. Authorities say a man died after he apparently passed while cleaning a sewer drain at a church. And this is in Mid-Michigan. He got stuck in the drain. The Midland County Sheriff's Department says 66-year-old Freeland man went to Mount Haley Church of God on Wednesday to clean the drain.
Wow.
Church secretary checked on him about 15, 20 minutes later and found him dead, head first in the drain, which is located in the hole on the church property. Here's what they said. Believe the man likely died due to lack of fresh air His name wasn't immediately released after the death being investigated. The church is located about 100 miles northwest of here.
What, did you crawl down into a manhole? Does it say?
Have you ever had a guy pass out from sewer gas or anything like that?
No, we don't go in confined spaces now without the proper equipment. I mean, there's a lot to do when you go in a confined space. I mean, you have to have
ventilation.
Guys. Oh, you have to have guys rigged up, to get them out of there. And there's a lot. There's these homeowners and people who attempt it. God bless them. But I had a neighbor wanted to snake. Up north, he come over and wanted to have me snake his drain. I said, listen, I'll do it for a case of beer. You're up north, and he didn't want to pay it, so he went and rented a piece of equipment. I looked down the street later, and I saw the snake coming out of his roof through the stack, hit electrical wire, cut it, dropped on his roof and started smoldering.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he almost burned his place down because he didn't want to pay a case of beer. Isn't that amazing?
You know what? People are crazy. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Ron Alexander in studio from Shelby Mechanical. They're one of the hired done pre-screen plumbing contractors. Mm-hmm. And you're super busy, and you say to me, business could be better if you had better employees. So, folks, more employees.
I got great guys now.
You know what? And let me just say that, rock it out and shout out to all the Shelby guys.
Yeah.
They rock, including Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly. Yeah, she takes care of business.
She's the best. So if you're listening, you know a really good plumber, you know someone that wants to be in the plumbing industry, you'll train, won't you?
Yeah.
You got to have a driver's license that's solid. You got to pass a drug test.
Yep. The normal stuff.
It seems to be, the headaches today.
Yes, that is. It's if you're looking for a place you want to go to work where there's no pressure. I mean, we're kind of a family thing, and guys come in at 8, 8:10, 8:15. We usually watch a little ESPN and then
get out on
go
the
out, head out to the jobs.
Well,
it's not a hype. I want the guys they're all adults. They know what they got to do, and they get their jobs done. So I don't babysit them. They're all good guys.
That's the best. There's no drama at Shelby Mechanical.
Exactly.
Which is really good.
I'm not chasing them around yelling at them.
And here's the other thing. The plumbers out there, they're not there to upsell the plumbing.
No.
That's what I really appreciate. Because, there's plumbing contractors out there that the more they sell, the more they make.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they work on commission. Yeah, so they sell things that don't need to be done normally. My guys are all, some of them came from that type of situation, and they're hourly, and it takes a lot of pressure off them because they know what they're making. One week they might make a lot of money, and the next week they make nothing. So I mean, and at least now they're on an even keel. They enjoy
that's
it.
the point. It's easier.
Yeah, we're all about just
and you're very
family
generous.
atmosphere.
You're very generous with your employees. They all highly respect you. You and I just finished a big job in Detroit together.
Yep.
Famous house in the area.
Yep. It went well.
Yeah, and working with Dominic. Hopefully he's listening.
Yep.
Super professional.
Yeah.
Cleaned up after himself. Helped me put the fire hose in. I'm so excited about that.
I know. He told me you had it on. Had some water flying around.
Did he tell you the water was? It turned total gross color at the end. I'm like drinking it. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it hasn't been on in a while. There.
That probably hasn't been on in 15, 20 years.
Oh, at least.
We blew out the lines. But did you see how much water? Did he show you? I have a video of it.
No, I didn't. You have to show me. I didn't see it.
Oh my god.
He told me about it. I was down there a little bit after that, but I missed it.
Totally cool.
That would have been fun to see.
It's all good though.
Oh yeah.
So, what are some of the requests? I just recently got, and I know you went out on this, so we'll just talk about it. Homeowners, go to hireitdone.com. If you need a plumber, you'll get Shelby Mechanical. Yep. He'll come out and they'll take care of you. Water heaters. We just had the other one. Oh, my water heater's making these rumbling sounds, and the water's hot, cold, hot, cold. How do you diagnose a water heater today?
Well, normally, first thing we do is ask them what's going on with it. If there's a leak, and we look at how old it is, they don't, some of them just aren't worth fixing. If they're that old, you start getting around 7, 8, 9 years old, and it's just not worth it. You might as well just replace it. By the time we do get a service call and come out and change something on it, especially the power vents, the electronics, it's just not worth it. You might as well just put a new one in and get the new warranty.
Right, well, that's the whole thing. So what does a 40-gallon hot water tank replacement cost? You go out there, the guy's like, all right, my water heater just blanked the bed.
Right.
And I need you guys to come out there. What is it usually average charge?
$8.95 we do them for. That's that, okay. And we haul the old one away for them. And we clean up tarps.
You don't stick it at the end of the driveway. You actually haul it away.
Everything's not extra. Extra for this, extra for that, extra for this. I mean, we just, that's the price. When we're done, it's $8.95 and we're out the door.
Yeah. What about a beep vent, a beep chimney liner, and all that?
Well,
is that extra or?
chimney liners aren't normally needed. The only time those are needed is when they change the furnace out and they go to a power vent furnace or a high efficiency furnace, and then the only thing venting in the chimney is the water heater. Then you have to line it, and usually the furnace guys do that when they make that change. So we usually just hook up to that. Then
that's cool.
Time. It works out well.
We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about 10 plumbing myths.
Well, this sounds like
We're going
fun.
to talk about these because I want to bust these myths. My name's Adam Helfman, folks. I'm your host. We're in pink today.
Pink.
We got Ryan Alexander. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back, folks. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. It's the weekend. Shout out. Yep. Got Ryan Alexander from Shelby Mechanical in studio. Welcome back.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's always a good weekend with you in the studio.
It's always fun, Adam. I look forward to these days.
So one of my favorite magazines, and I don't know, I'll admit it, I don't care. Family Handyman.
Family Handyman.
I love it.
I've never seen that. Is it good?
It's a great magazine. I love it. Anyways, I read that stuff. I'm kind of nerdy. When
Right.
it comes like computers, gadgets, food. Right?
Food's always good.
And then the home improvement. I keep my finger on the pulse of the home improvement industry. In fact, last night, real quick sidebar, I'm running it around the fair. The Birmingham Fair is in town.
Yep.
I had to get, when the fair comes to town, I got to get an elephant ear and a corn dog.
Tell me, I tried to pull a permit yesterday, and I just drove right on out of there. I couldn't get near the place.
Right. It's all, well, Birmingham is turned upside down.
crazy.
I ran into my best friend, Neil Rockine, and his wife. If you ever murder anyone, you got to call Neil.
He takes care of the body?
Yeah. He gets you off.
Okay.
He gets you out of jail. Anyways, Neil is a fan of Hire It Done.
Okay.
He just recently had his outdoor lighting done by Fresh Cut.
Jared, my buddy.
Right? Jared from Fresh
Jared,
Cut.
if you're out there, I'm still looking for my rocks.
There you go. Yeah, well, Jared's good. He's great at getting the job started.
Oh, yeah.
And he had some landscaping done, and then we were talking about internet in his house. So it was nice to, just see Neil out, and he's a really good guy. So I was just thinking about that when we were talking about
To get his card.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You never know when you need a good lawyer.
So let's bust some plumbing myths. Family Handyman is where I got this from, and I love this.
Okay.
So one of the myths that they say is people think toilets flush the other direction in Australia.
I've heard that before.
So when I flush my toilet, I have this like Gaboret German toilet,
Okay.
and this toilet's like for handicapped people. It's got the built-in bidet. It's got the built-in exhaust fan. There'll be no dying of any fumes in my toilet for sure. But it doesn't go like when you flush a normal toilet. The toilet, when you're looking down into it, clockwise, whoosh, doesn't it? It goes clockwise. All toilets.
Normally, you know what? I'll have to. I really don't pay much attention.
I do. I know these things.
Okay.
Because I watch it when I
You're an important
use
guy.
wipes. We're going to talk about wipes in a minute.
Oh, God.
But
no,
I use
again.
wipes, and I watch it all go down.
Right.
So it's clockwise. But in Australia, people think it goes counterclockwise. It ain't true. I hate to break it to you. To all the Australians and the Aussies out there,
Yeah.
the toilet
Clockwise.
still goes clockwise, even south of the equator.
Okay.
Ice cubes will sharpen garbage disposal blades.
I've heard that myth before.
Ain't happening.
I don't
Not
think
a
that.
chance,
no.
Houston.
It
No
might clean
way.
it out, help clean it.
Yeah.
But usually,
Here's the deal. When my ice maker gets all jammed up from old ice, I just dump it down the sink. I let it melt down there, but sometimes I push it in and run the hot water and then turn on the
Turn it on a little
because I
bit.
like to hear the noise. I just think that's crazy. A brick in the tank of the toilet tank will save you money. Have you heard that one?
yes, I've heard that it'll save some water.
Okay, so here's the deal. A brick takes up space.
Correct.
So there's less water in the tank. It makes perfect sense. Logical. However, the tank is designed to have enough water to get the poop down.
Right. The flush.
So, I mean, oi.
People were putting them in the back when they still had the 3 gallons. I've run across and seen them in there where they had the old toilets.
What's the brick for? I mean, I can see you hiding a brick of cocaine.
Yeah.
A brick of marijuana.
Yeah.
But not, a brick. Oh, I'm saving money. Well,
Yeah.
like back then, how much was water? Your water bill. Today, water
Yeah.
is expensive. I
Oh,
can
yeah.
see it. It's crazy. Okay, here's the best one. Hot water melts the grease to prevent clogs.
Yeah. It moves it a little farther down the pipe.
Here's the myth bust. This is the thing, and this is where your expertise can tell me yes or no.
Okay.
Sure, hot water melts the grease and washes it down the drain, but once the liquefied grease hits the pipes, It cools,
Yep.
solidifies, and eventually builds up.
Yep.
The grease is a magnet for food bits, lint, and hair, eventually clogging the pipe. Is that true?
That's true.
Okay, so those clogs are so far away you can't even reach them with a household snake.
Normally.
Then you have to call in you, the pro, to unclear the line, which is about $1.50.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're pretty good. Here's what they say. Cold water, on the other hand, solidifies the grease right away before it hits the sewer line so it can float all the way down to the city sewer.
Exactly.
Cold water also cools the disposer motor, making it last longer.
Yes.
Okay,
I've
folks,
read that, to run cold water with your disposal.
Okay, so here's some tips right now for the Hire It Done listeners. Run the cold water when you run your dishwasher disposal or your washing disposal.
Yep.
When you pour bacon grease down the thing, because I do.
Don't pour bacon grease down the drain.
I do.
Well, you guys keep us busy. Go ahead, pour it.
But run cold water right away so that the grease solidifies before it gets down there. So maybe does grease float?
Yeah.
So it's solid grease floats. So the fat floats down.
When it's in its liquid state, it does float.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Roberto, what are you thinking?
I just wanted to ask Ron about, am I wasting time and money buying those septic packets?
No, those are different.
dissolve?
No, those are good. Those are still good to go in the
hold
tank.
on. Roberto, do you have a septic field? Or
I
city
don't know.
sewer?
Oh, if you have a sewer, they're a waste.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Those septic packets are
Enzymes.
enzymes. What they do is they're like little bacteria. Like people say probiotics for your gut.
Right.
Yeah.
They go into your septic field and then they become bacteria and they start eating all the poop.
They break it down.
Well, I must have, because I was referred to use that, but I didn't know if
You've
that
never
was
had. How long you been at your house?
6 years.
You've never had the tank pumped?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
then
then you're
you
on
got
a
a septic
septic
field.
If you had it pumped, yeah, you're on a septic.
My guy pumps it all the time and keeps telling me, next time I come out here, if I see wipes, I'm never coming back.
That's what
Yeah.
they tell me, too,
Don't.
because with the kids.
They'll
and,
plug your
you know,
field up. Those wipes, they don't break down.
Is anyone ever going to invent a way to have these things dissolve or disintegrate?
I do. I actually have that. I'm working on it.
Are you working on
I'm beta testing it. You want to try some?
I'll try
Roberto.
some.
Will it remain intact when I need it?
Well, you have to. Here's the deal. You have to wash your hands every time. So we're working on the pliability of it right now. It's like please don't squeeze the Charmin.
Yeah.
I got my own version coming out.
That would be great.
They're called the
If you
healthy wipes.
Found them that actually worked would be outstanding.
And here's the next one on the deployment: flushable wipes. Those flushable baby wipes are the one main culprits of clogging pipes. They don't break down the way toilet paper does.
That's correct. I agree with that. They don't break down. I can't tell you how many people look a square in the eye and say, we don't use them. And you go in the bathroom, there's a container of them sitting on the toilet tank.
Well, how about reusable wipes?
Here you.
They got reusable diapers, right? So why not?
They got
Never.
reusable diapers.
Whatever the
cloth.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So why not cloth diapers or cloth wipes? Instead of flushing them, you dump them in a thing.
And you wash them.
Never going to happen.
No.
There's never going to be a wipe that's going to go on my tushy that's ever going to.
Been used on a tushy before.
Right. It's never going to be. Yeah. It's never.
You're a one tushy man.
It's a one. Yeah. Yeah. When I'm in, I'm all in. Okay. How about this? Here's a myth. Drain cleaners are safe. Another plumbing tip, another liquid drain. Avoid them. Avoid liquid drain cleaners. Liquid drain cleaners are sometimes bad news. They eat away at the pipes. Try a plunger, or better yet, a $30 auger. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. I that stuff puts my guys in urgent care because people say, "Oh no, we didn't use it. We didn't use it." And
What is it, like acid?
Yeah, it ends up burning them, and it's terrible stuff. It's terrible for the environment. It's terrible for your pipes. Just either snake. You can buy. They have that little hand snake. They sell at Home Depot.
Yeah.
It looks like a top, and it has a hand crank. You can pop that off and just get a cordless drill, and it'll clean out all your small drains. I mean, my guys, we use them all the time. They're great little tools. They work out great for the homeowner. I mean, I talk a lot of homeowners through jobs like that. I mean, if they want to attempt it, I'll talk them through it on the phone and give them a go.
What's the phone number if someone wants to call you?
586-726-9444.
Someone working today?
Kelly will answer the phone. She answers them at home, wherever she's
Do you know what an M80 is?
Yes.
I flushed one down the toilet once.
Did you really?
Yep.
At your home?
No, at my school.
School?
Yeah. But I didn't realize the pipe goes up. For some reason, the wall,
vent
when
does.
the wall cracked like 4 feet above the toilet.
Okay, the pressure. It must have been
Yeah. My dad paid $6,000 to repair
No
it.
kidding.
I was 13 years old.
Did he make you do the work?
No. I got suspended. However, I'll tell you what. Today, if I would have done that, it would have been a terrorist bomb. They would have I would
Probably.
have been in jail probably for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? It is. Things have gotten crazy.
So here's another one. Here's another myth. We're talking about plumbing myths, folks. We're debunking them. A water heater will explode if you hear it rumbling.
Not if you hear it rumbling, but I mean, I've seen videos of them exploding.
Well, what makes them explode?
Their T&P valve didn't let loose, or they pressurized the tank. Actually, I think it was a video. You can find it on YouTube. I believe it blows right through the roof of a house.
Really? I want to watch that. That sounds cool.
It is pretty cool.
So what happens if you hear rumbling? Don't call 911 or call you?
Rumbling's something different. Rumbling's usually a bunch of sediment in the bottom. When it's heating up, it's cracking. And mine used to shake my whole house. I had one 40-gallon. It was actually in a closet in my old house. And
do you recommend tankless water heaters?
I think if you have a need for it, they're great. I don't think if it's just a couple people at the house, and I mean there's some downsides to them. I mean they take a while for the hot water to get to the point of use, but once it gets there, I mean it's there forever. That's the good part of it. But if you can make it part of your routine, you turn it on, go get some sweats, walk in there, and you usually got hot water, then it's good to go. But
that's interesting.
We get some sandwiching with them too.
How many calls do you get at Shelby Mechanical when someone drops the ring down the sink? I just dropped my wedding ring down the sink.
Not too many.
They don't drop them anymore.
No, we haven't got too many like that. Kelly would know more about. She can't take all the calls, but I
didn't know because it was one of the myths. People say, but that's why they have a trap. It catches it.
Well, that's not the only reason it's there.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that when we come back.
Okay.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We've got Ron Alexander, Shelby Mechanical in studio. We've got another guest coming in, Alex Van Rijn from Building Performance Solutions. How to save money in the heat. That's right. That's what we do here at Hire It Done. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back, folks. This is Hire It Done. 97.1 The Ticket. The sport of home improvement on Saturday mornings is what I like to say. We've got Ron Alexander sitting in the co-pilot seat today. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning.
Shelby Mechanical. If you need a good plumber, guess what? Ron Alexander's your guy. You service all Metro Detroit?
Everywhere. I mean, Ann Arbor, we're Flint. We go everywhere. I mean, as long as it's worth it. We're not going to go up to Flint to, change a washer and a faucet or something.
No, I have that. I have a washer and a faucet that I need placed.
For you, we'll take care of it.
Right, I got you.
You're a number one guy.
Joining us right now is a longtime friend of mine, Hire It Done contractor, Alex Van Rijn from Building Performance Solutions. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Adam.
So let's reintroduce you to the Hire It Done audience because we seem to get a really big spike every time you're on the show. You're like my go-to guy on the science end of home performance.
Thank you.
So tell everyone about Building Performance Solutions.
Well, we're a performance contractor, so we come in and determine the inefficiencies as it relates to comfort, efficiency, and health and safety of homes, and we improve them. So it's more of a testing type of process. We come in and diagnose the root cause of those symptoms and then develop solutions to solve them once and for all. On the new construction side, we kind of have a clean slate. The nice thing is we can come in and do a print review, and kind of consult with the customer more on a holistic approach, not just its individual components. We're talking indoor air quality, we're talking VOCs, we're talking about efficiency, sound. All these are factors that we consider when developing assemblies and materials to maximize performance in the homes. And then once the house has got it framed and got a roof on it, we can come and do a walkthrough with the homeowner and start looking for those weak points. The print shows one thing,
Sure.
but the carpenter does another, right?
Well, of course.
And so that's what we're looking for is the weak points of the building envelope, and then we can make sound recommendations based on what we're finding.
Which is important for everyone. So, folks, if you're out there and you're in an existing home and you're like, oh my God, my upstairs is so hot. I turn my air on, I can't cool the upstairs. Or how do I get that cold air from the basement upstairs?
Yeah.
That's another thing I want to invent. Besides flushable wipes, I want to invent I don't know how to package the air from the basement and bring it upstairs in a box.
Yeah, instead of one of those fans in your ceiling on the second floor, put one in your
Sucking it
floor
up.
and suck it up from the basement.
Or push it up somehow. So let's solve some homeowners' pains right now.
Yeah.
So, folks, let me create this scenario with you. And if you know someone who has this issue, or if you have this issue, we're going to solve it right now. So let's go with a typical Metro Detroit bungalow. 1,300 square foot, 1,600 square foot, main floor. Then you go upstairs and you got the angled ceiling, and it's always hot. Summertime, it's boiling. Wintertime, freezing. What's that called?
Yeah. So thermodynamics. Okay. Warm air rises. We can't stop it.
Right.
Not only that, but warm moves to cold. So in the summer months, when we're trying to cool the house down, all that hot outside air wants to come in. All that heat will conduct through. So insulation and air sealing is going to be critical in efforts to reduce that problem. So, in a 2-story home or 1.5-story home, because warm air rises, it's called stack pressure. And stack pressure is just that. It's like a hot air balloon. Warm air is going to rise through the structure. And the faster it can do that, the faster you have to try and condition the lower area of the house. And that heat's going to consolidate. So what we want to do is we want to compartmentalize each level of the home by a level of air sealing. And the slower we can stop that stack pressure, the slower we can keep the cool air down, the less of an issue that you have on the second floor. And then we choose the right types of insulations. Okay, what people think is that insulation R value is all that they need to consider. So the higher the R value, the better the material. Well, in actuality, you're only dealing with conduction. Convection is airflow. So we need to stop draft from communicating through. And that's either the cold air going out or the hot air coming in. So we need to do a level of air sealing to that. So I always use the analogy, a knitted sweater. Okay, a knitted sweater is going to keep you warm, right? But as soon as you walk outside and the big gust of wind blows through it, it strips the heat out of it. Now you put a windbreaker on that same knitted sweater and you've created an air barrier. And now now the sweater works. So consider that in your house. When you're using a fiber-based insulation that allows air to move through it, that cold air is going to go out or that hot air is going to come in. It's going to freely communicate through that insulation. So you want to use products that not only insulate but air seal. And there's where your spray foams and injection foams, they become more an effective product because they're going to address both forms of heat transfer.
Okay, well, that makes sense. So, folks, if you have that bungalow attic upstairs and it's super hot, the solution is Alex Van Rijn can come out there, and what he'll do is 2 things. Obviously, yes, you want to have insulation because the insulation slows the heat from coming in or slows the cool air from leaving. Yep. But then you want to air seal, which is then stops the heat from coming right in, and that'll solve it.
Yeah, that will make a huge impact. I mean, bungalows are unique in the fact that we have to deal with ventilation issues. You have an upper collar attic, you have outer attic spaces, and they communicate with each other. So we have to analyze, okay, how's the ventilation occurring? What type of insulation? A lot of people don't know that the floor between the first and second floor communicates to the outer attics, and hot air can flow underneath those floors and just superheat the ceiling of the first floor and the floor above.
Right.
So you got to address those areas too.
So you when you come to the homeowner's house, you actually explain all that to them.
Yeah, we go into grave detail, probably more than what they want.
We're talking with Alex Van Rijn. He's the owner of Building Performance Solutions. The website is Comfort to Life. Comfort, the word comfort, then the word TO2, and then life.com. Comforttolife.com. And so let's go with another scenario. I've got the house with the bedroom above the garage. And there's a closet in that corner, and it's always cold. Can't ever get it in the wintertime. It's freezing. There's frost coming, through. But I've got a garage below.
Yeah.
You've seen that scenario?
We've probably addressed 24 in the last couple of months.
Right, because everybody has that, and the builders in town who came up with the bonus room over the garage.
Bonus room.
Oh, we get the bonus room over the garage. We're going to make so much money because our house are going to sell much faster. Oh, but we didn't know because the builders didn't know. Yeah. I think the lack of knowledge on the technical side. They didn't know that the ceiling joists in the garage and then they had the floor joists above, that gap.
Yep.
And then they let air fly right through, like you just said before. The air's flowing through there, creating an effect underneath.
Yeah. So generally in these scenarios, what happens is a fiber-based insulation like fiberglass is installed, and because it's a horizontal application, gravity will take effect. The vibration from the doors, from walking across the floors, the material will start to settle away from the subfloor. And it's kind of like laying on the couch and holding the blanket away from your skin. If there's air between your skin and the blanket's not doing anything for you. So when you take insulation and it separates from that subfloor, it's a pathway now for air to move through, and it's going to cool the floor down or heat the floor up. And then you start combining when you have, plumbing and things like that in the space. A lot of builders, what they do to offset those issues and the warranty issues is they'll just take a heat duct and they'll dump heat in between the floors. So essentially, you're trying to heat the outside to support the floor and to support the plumbing. It's a very inefficient way to approach this, and a lot of times it fails. It's not enough. So the solution is for us to come in and properly insulate and air seal that assembly, and making sure that we had full adhesion to the underside of that floor. So we're preventing that air movement and that conduction.
Do you guys come in with the infrared cameras and things like that when you come in to analyze a house?
Yeah, we do full infrared scans on the house. We do blower door testing. We do zone pressure testing. We do there's lots of different tools that we can use to truly identify these problems.
And the homeowner can watch while you're doing all this?
We encourage that. We want them to feel and see firsthand all these contributing factors, because it's hard for me to explain to you, hey, Mr. Smith, this recessed light, it's going to have a huge amount of air leakage coming through here. Now, when he can stand underneath it and see the cobwebs fluttering around the light bulb and can feel that, it's a completely different priority, I should say.
Right. I had one of those done. They sealed the front door. We were testing that after we insulated.
Yeah.
Did that pressure test. That's pretty interesting to watch too.
It's funny that you say that. But let me ask you this, and answer with confidence or cockiness. Either way, I don't care. You walk into a house, you look at the layout.
Yeah.
You know right away.
I've done over 3,000 energy audits. It's more validation of our recommendations when we do these tests. Customer needs to see and feel firsthand those problems. And I can talk all day to a customer, and a lot of times it goes it's well received, but the tests just really solidify everything. So
yeah, that's important. I might have to have you out. Do one of your energy evaluations at my place.
Oh, it's the best. But it's so easy. And the thing is, here's the best part. Let's say your gas and electric bill combined is $400 a month. I can guarantee everyone listening right now that Alex, with the right tools, can lower your gas and electric bills combined by 30% minimum. Am I overspeeding?
Yeah, in a lot of houses.
Yeah.
I mean, today the building code requires that we meet certain standards, and it's getting better. For instance, this new requirement where a house has to have a certain level of air leakage. It has to be reduced to 4 air changes per hour, which means you're only exchanging all the air in the house with the outside 4 times every hour. Any house built before 2015 doesn't have that level of air sealing. And we understand now that convection is 30 to 50% of the energy consumption of your home. Just air exchange between inside and out is huge.
And I want to talk more about that. We're going to take a quick break. Okay. So, folks, we've got Alex Van Rijn from Building Performance Solutions, Ron Alexander, and myself. This is Hired Done. We're going to take a quick break, folks. 97.1 The Ticket. We'll be right back. Oh, my God. This is great. Welcome back, folks. This is Hired Done. Saturday morning, having a great show. Got Ron Alexander in studio from Shelby Mechanical. Welcome back, Ron.
Good morning, everyone.
Alex Van Rijn from Building Performance Solutions. Website, comforttolife.com. So we're going to turn the air on. The energy bills aren't going down, right? We just said at the break we could probably save you 30% on your bill. Legitimately. I personally know it could be 50%, but I don't want to make crazy claims like your windows will save you 50%. Those are the lies that you see in home improvement. Alex, let me ask you a question. Let's talk about windows for a second.
Okay.
You see window companies, right?
Yeah.
Always advertising. Save 50%.
Yeah. 2 for 1.
Yeah. Free labor for life. Every third window free. I mean, that's called fuzzy math.
Yeah.
However, replacing a window in your house, does it save energy?
In general, yes.
Okay, it does.
Yes.
However, the double pane, low E, argon gas pane, right? Because the fenestration is through the glass, most of it. Does it make a difference how thick the glass is? Does any of that, is the R value, the U value, does any of that make a difference?
So, yeah, I mean, emissivity is reflectivity. So you're reflecting radiant heat away, and whether you're doing it from inside or outside, depending on what area of the country you're in is going to dictate that. Argon gas or the different gases
slows down
is the R value, so to speak, of that. But really,
let me ask you this, because this is what I want to get to. Okay. I know you're probably getting that. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, that's all right.
We always say this, and we borrow the saying from Glenn Hagee, may he rest in peace. The best window is the one that's installed properly. And I have to say, I love that. It's prophetic.
Yeah, makes sense.
However, the air sealing around the window.
Exactly.
Around the frame is where most of the air loss is anyways, right?
Yep.
So you can take the crappiest window, but if you seal it perfectly and you install it just right with the right amount of insulation, the performance of that window could be as good as the best windows.
It's you're absolutely right. The weakest point of the assembly is where it's mounted to the house. Okay,
Correct.
that jamb. If fiberglass is in there, fiberglass allows air to move through it, much like your furnace filter. Okay,
Right.
so when you have a direct connection between the outside and inside, and you're stuffing it with a product like fiberglass that allows air to move through it, you're wasting your time.
So you say don't use fiberglass.
Don't use fiberglass.
Right. So I'm agreeing with you. And folks, for anyone out there who thinks they're getting windows, I don't care what brand you buy. If they're not using spray foam, not low expanding, right?
Right. Low expanding. Yep.
And sealing, meaning not letting any air through around the perimeter of the window.
Correct.
Then you're doing it right.
Right. And that's
You agree.
That's just it. Is that some window installers will use the foam, some won't. So anybody who's installing windows, use the foam. Any homeowner request to use the foam. When we do blower door testing, it's all
You can
the
see
proof's
it.
in the pudding. Okay,
Yeah.
You
I
can
mean,
see it blowing out through
the blower
behind
door,
the casing.
Yeah, it's a large fan that we hook up to the exterior door. It depressurizes. It basically pulls outside air into the home. Where me and the homeowner, we walk from room to room, from floor to floor, and we pinpoint where the drafts are coming in.
You showing the smoke pencil?
A smoke pencil. We got all the infrared. We show them all, but we'll look at the window itself. I'll ask the customers, is there any specific windows that you want to look at that are real drafty? And they'll take me right to that window, and we'll start puffing around the meeting rails and the sashes, and we're not finding very little leakage. But then we start puffing around the trim around the window, and there's a huge amount of air leakage. Okay, and that's because there's fiberglass that was used to insulate the jamb, and it wasn't air sealed.
Okay, so can we safely say that if there's a window installer out there who's still using fiberglass insulation around the perimeter of the window, he's doing it wrong?
Yes.
Okay, folks, did you hear that?
Yep.
So all these window installers, if they're not using spray foam insulation or a solid air block, they're not doing it right.
Same
Period.
with doors too.
Yeah, well,
The
of
same
course.
thing. They foamed mine. It worked out great.
So speaking of in the cold weather, even though it's hot, a lot of people say, "Oh, my kitchen window's always a cold draft. There's always cold by the window." That's because of
There are many different things. So it could be the air infiltration. It could be a failure in the seals of the window. But more times than not, especially the big windows, you get what's called convective looping. You stand next to the big picture door wall or the big glass curtain wall that you have, and that warm air, when it hits a cold surface, it cools and it falls and it builds up speed. And it hits the floor, starts to warm back up again, and then drifts back over to the window, cools and falls, and you get this natural convective loop, and you can't understand where you're feeling this draft.
right.
And it's not
Oh, wow.
necessarily a draft from outside coming in. It's just natural glass is going to be cold, okay? It's going to be colder than any wall that has insulation in it.
Right.
And so when warm hits cold, it cools, falls, builds up speed, and you get this natural convective loop. You can't fight that. It's thermodynamics. The only
Right.
thing you can do is thermal blinds, big heavy drapes,
Yeah.
or like an Indo window, an interior friction fit kind of storm window, so to speak,
Yeah, those are the best.
where your inner pane is now warmer and it's not cold, and now we don't have that thermal temperature difference between the ambient air in the house and the surface temperature of the glass.
This is important for everyone who's listening right now. If this is something that's like creating anxiety for you, or you're like, "Oh my God, I need to save money, but I can't understand any of this," it's simple. Just call Alex Van Rijn. He'll come out.
Yeah.
He'll come to your house. He'll give you an assessment, and he'll give you what we like to call, you're the ladder. I call it the roadmap. Same thing.
Mhm.
He will give you the steps necessary. All right, you want to save this much? Do this. You want to save everything? You want to go bonkers? No problem. Here's the kit and caboodle. Here's what it costs. And the payback is so fast.
Yeah, we prioritize everything for the customer. It's important that we interview the customer and we ask them, what is your goals? What are your pain points? What's ultimately your outcome? What do you want to get in the end of this? And then from there, we'll prioritize the scope of work. Okay.
Right.
And health and safety is always important. That's number one. Okay. Comfort, efficiency, sound, indoor air quality. All these are factors that we take into consideration. And again, the customer is the driver here. They're going to tell me what they want, and we'll
Yep.
help them using these whole home approaches, the building science approach, thermodynamics. It's more of a science. It's not just, let's do this, or hey, let's do
No.
that.
There's a
It's
reason behind everything
data-driven
we do.
recommendations. Okay, the tests tell us what needs to be done, and whether we do those tests or not,
Let me ask you a question. Are you busy?
it's crazy.
Okay, so there's a common theme.
Yes.
Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical, in the beginning of the show, I asked him, what's the one thing that's holding him up from growing his business?
Yeah.
Do you know what he said?
Employees, I'm sure.
Thank you. Are you hiring?
Absolutely. We desperately need help.
Okay, folks, did you hear that? If you know some lazy kid that's sitting on his butt, kick him in the butt and then tell him to get his head out of his butt and get over here and get a job that you can make a career out of. Plumbers make 6 figures. I'm telling you, folks. Alex, you need a guy that has a valid driver's license and can pass a drug test, right?
And is willing to work.
Well, willing to work.
Well, there
Willing to
you
work.
go.
Jeez, we're not getting
Leave the phone at home.
I never forget it. I don't get it, but yeah. So comforttolife.com is the website. They can call it. What's the phone number?
248-251-0555.
You can always just go to hireitdone.com, folks. Click on Ask Adam, and I will always send your resume or whatever you want to the proper guy. Every one of my contractors is hiring. I want you all to know that right now. Everyone is hiring.
How far out are you right now? If we called to schedule something to come out.
Yeah, it just depends on the size of the job, location, customer availability. But usually 2 to 3 weeks out, we try and schedule kind of that window of time.
And then once you do the performance testing, then you just give some kind of breakdown on, well, if you want to go this far, it'd be this much. If you want to do this much, it would be.
Yeah, we break it down based upon assembly. So attic assembly, walls, living space, and
It's a no-brainer.
Okay.
An absolute no-brainer.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to have mine done. I mean, I went through it all, but I'd rather have someone come out and just test it, make
you
sure
would
we did
benefit.
everything right.
You'll love that. You'll benefit from it. All right, well, you guys, can you believe it's the end of the hour?
Is it? Wow.
Time is flying.
Yeah.
Real quickly, folks out there, I got to tell everyone something. I forgot about this. Summertime, right? You got graduation parties.
Oh, yeah.
We just made a really great video with Mosquito One. I've got a guy that does mosquito control. It's Mosquito One. And hireitdone.com. Just go there for details. I did a great video. You want to get rid of mosquitoes? This guy does it. He's the best. Okay. So, anyways, just wanted to let y'all know that. Ron,
Great.
thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
Alex Van Ryn, you rock. Always. Thank you. And everyone, I want to thank you for listening today. We'll be back next week. Hire It Done is live. We love it. Have a great weekend. I'm Adam Helfman, 97.1 The Ticket.